When pondering the globe's corporate titans, Apple, Microsoft, and Google typically spring to mind. However, Tencent stands as a less obvious contender. Despite boasting a market value surpassing the combined worth of Facebook, MasterCard, and Samsung, Tencent's true reach often flies under the radar for many. This enigmatic corporation has its fingers in nearly every pie. While their logo features an endearing penguin, an octopus might be a more fitting symbol. Like the sea creature's far-reaching tentacles, Tencent's influence extends across numerous global industries. While this corporate giant might not be a household name, chances are you've already interacted with its products or services. This sprawling conglomerate has its tendrils in a diverse array of well-known entities, including automotive innovator Tesla, gaming powerhouse Riot Games, Chinese messaging juggernaut WeChat, and social media platform Snapchat. And that's just scratching the surface of its vast portfolio. Tencent stands as a powerhouse in China, wielding immense influence. The key to its dominance, WeChat, which Tencent developed and which has essentially become China's digital ecosystem. This super app is ubiquitous among China's 1.4 billion population, with users engaging with it for an average of 4 hours daily, surpassing the total time Americans typically spend across all social media platforms combined. WeChat is a Swiss Army knife of digital services, consolidating features found in popular Western apps like Facebook, Uber, WhatsApp, PayPal, and Google into one comprehensive platform. Its all-encompassing nature makes it indispensable for daily life in China. Users can seamlessly transition from chatting with friends to settling bills, and from hailing rides to managing their schedules, all within a single application. This unparalleled convenience has cemented WeChat's, and by extension Tencent's, central role in Chinese society. This seamless integration, however, comes at a price. The vast trove of user data, encompassing everything from real-time locations to financial records and personal communications, is accessible not only to Tencent, but also, by implication, to Chinese authorities. This makes WeChat an unprecedented tool for mass surveillance. The platform's pervasive monitoring capabilities extend to content filtering. Attempts to share information deemed sensitive by the state may be blocked, with messages failing to reach their intended recipients. More alarmingly, users engaging in such communication risk facing severe repercussions. This creates an environment where digital convenience and personal privacy exist in uneasy tension, with users navigating a landscape where every interaction is potentially subject to scrutiny. For instance, a Chinese artist faced arrest over a satirical image he created of President Xi Jinping. Compounding concerns, Chinese authorities have acknowledged their ability to access WeChat conversations that users have deleted without requiring user permission. While government surveillance occurs in various countries, China's approach is particularly extensive. In an evaluation by Amnesty International, a worldwide NGO dedicated to safeguarding human rights, Tencent received the lowest possible score for data protection, 0 out of 100. This stands in stark contrast to Facebook, now Meta, which scored 73 out of 100 in the same assessment. The strong alliance between Tencent and China's ruling Communist Party has paved the way for Tencent to dominate numerous sectors within the country. This dominance has been achieved through the deployment of ruthless strategies aimed at eliminating rival businesses. The company's political connections have enabled it to employ tactics that might otherwise face regulatory challenges, effectively consolidating its power across various industries in the Chinese market. For instance, in the music streaming industry, Tencent Music Entertainment acquired exclusive rights to vast catalogs of music from major record labels. They then sublicensed this music to smaller competitors at inflated prices, making it nearly impossible for these rivals to turn a profit. This strategy effectively squeezed out competition, leading to Tencent Music controlling over 80% of China's exclusive music streaming rights at one point. The company's political connections allowed this monopolistic behavior to continue unchecked for years, despite it clearly stifling competition and innovation in the market. By the time antitrust authorities took action in 2021, Tencent had already secured an overwhelming market advantage. The delayed regulatory response came after the company had entrenched its dominant position, rendering the intervention largely ineffective in restoring meaningful competition. In exchange for its privileged position, Tencent has evolved into an instrument of the Chinese Communist Party's agenda. The Chinese government has effectively utilized WeChat, Tencent's pervasive messaging and social media platform, as a multifaceted tool for population control. Through extensive surveillance capabilities, including access to deleted messages, authorities can monitor communications for dissent or perceived threats. The platform employs real-time censorship of messages, posts, and images containing sensitive content, while simultaneously limiting access to external news sources and promoting state-approved information, thereby shaping public opinion. WeChat's integration with China's social credit system links online behavior to citizens' scores, affecting their access to various services. During recent public health crises, the app was repurposed for contact tracing and movement tracking via color-coded health status indicators. As WeChat increasingly serves as a digital identification system, it further ties online activities to real-world identities. The knowledge of constant monitoring leads many users to self-censor, reinforcing government control. Additionally, the system facilitates the delivery of tailored messaging to distinct population segments or geographical areas. This deep integration of WeChat into daily life, combined with government access and control, has transformed it into a powerful mechanism for social management and control in China. The company's technological influence extended beyond software applications, penetrating deeply into the gaming industry. In 2018, Tencent was compelled to modify its popular mobile game, Honor of Kings. To align with communist values in China, the company implemented several changes, including a patriotic education system, requiring young players to pass a test on socialist core values and Chinese history. Strict playtime restrictions were imposed, limiting gaming hours for players under 18. Character outfits were altered to be more conservative, and anti-addiction measures were added, including warnings about excessive gaming. Additionally, Tencent introduced a real name registration system using national ID numbers to enforce these new rules. These alterations were made in response to criticism from state media and government concerns about gaming addiction and unwholesome content, demonstrating Tencent's compliance with Communist Party values and regulations in the Chinese market. Having established dominance in its home market, Tencent set its sights globally, acquiring stakes in diverse international companies including Reddit, Tesla, Discord, and Spotify. The company has risen to become the world's preeminent gaming corporation, owning Riot Games, creator of League of Legends, outright, and holding a substantial 40% share in Epic Games, known for Fortnite. Tencent's financial technology prowess is evident in its WeChat Pay platform, which handles a staggering volume of over 1 billion daily transactions, surpassing the combined output of Visa and MasterCard. Expanding its reach even further, Tencent has made inroads into the film industry, with Tencent Pictures contributing to the financing and production of the 2019 Hollywood release Men in Black International. The West has only recently begun to grasp the full extent of Tencent's far-reaching impact. A stark illustration of this influence emerged when Blizzard, a company partially owned by Tencent, banned a professional gamer for expressing support for Hong Kong's pro-democracy protests. This incident sparked widespread debate about the potential for China to leverage its stake in Tencent as a means of shaping decisions beyond its borders. In light of these developments, WeChat has come under scrutiny from various national governments, including the United States and India, who now view it as a potential security risk. Some critics have gone so far as to describe the app as a surveillance tool masquerading as a smartphone necessity. Tencent's journey represents a complex narrative, interweaving remarkable business achievements with significant public and governmental concerns. The intriguing twist in Tencent's tale is its complex relationship with the Chinese government. Rather than being a mere state puppet, Tencent has faced regulatory crackdowns that have cost it billions in market value, highlighting a nuanced and sometimes tense dynamic between the tech giant and the ruling party. While tech moguls like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Mark Zuckerberg are instantly recognizable to most people, Tencent's founder Pony Ma maintains a much lower profile. Unlike his counterpart Jack Ma of Alibaba, who has cultivated a more public persona, Pony Ma intentionally keeps a low profile and is rarely seen in the public eye. This approach appears to be a deliberate strategy to avoid unnecessary attention and potential controversies that often come with high visibility in the tech industry. Pony Ma's journey began as a reserved child who later gained recognition for his programming prowess. During college, he developed a successful stock prediction program, selling it for a substantial sum. Recognizing the internet's potential in its early days, Pony started brainstorming business ideas. Tencent's initial venture wasn't an original creation, but rather a Chinese adaptation of ICQ, a popular internet chat service. In 1998, Pony and his associates launched OICQ from a modest office in a bustling neighborhood. The start was challenging, with Pony personally engaging users to maintain interest. As internet usage expanded, so did OICQ, becoming Tencent's primary focus. However, the company faced significant hurdles: high operational costs, lack of revenue, and a legal challenge from AOL, ICQ's owner. Unable to afford legal defense, Pony attempted to sell Tencent, but found no buyers. The turning point came when Pony discovered venture capital as an option. In his pitch to IDG Capital, he candidly admitted Tencent's difficulties while emphasizing its potential. This honesty proved crucial in securing investment. Tencent received $2.2 million for a 40% stake, split between two venture capital firms, rescuing the company from potential failure. This funding marked the true beginning of Tencent's growth story, with Pony Ma's forthright approach playing a pivotal role in attracting the investment that saved the company. To avoid legal issues with AOL, Pony rebranded the chat application from OICQ to QQ. Despite rapid user growth, from 1 million to 5 million in just 2 years, Tencent continued to face financial challenges. Initial attempts at monetization through advertising and subscription fees proved unsuccessful. Inspiration struck when Pony encountered a Korean website featuring customizable avatars. Tencent implemented a similar feature, allowing users to personalize their online presence for a small fee. This pivot to microtransactions, particularly popular among younger users, became Tencent's financial breakthrough. As often happens with successful ventures, competition soon followed. In 2004, Microsoft's MSN entered the Chinese market. However, Tencent's agility gave it a significant advantage. While MSN's corporate structure slowed its ability to implement changes, Tencent could roll out popular features like offline messaging within weeks. Despite Microsoft's vast resources, Tencent's locally based servers and quick adaptability allowed QQ to maintain its market dominance. By 2005, QQ had amassed an impressive user base of 500 million, solidifying its position in the Chinese internet landscape. This period demonstrated Tencent's ability to pivot strategically, rapidly implement new features, and effectively counter even well-resourced global competitors in the local market. Building on its messaging success, Tencent expanded into gaming, leveraging its massive user base and China's favorable internet regulations. Much like its dominance in messaging, Tencent quickly became a major player in the gaming sector. This growth significantly increased the company's negotiating power, allowing it to secure advantageous deals and partnerships. Tencent's trajectory became increasingly intricate and impactful, combining strategic business moves with a privileged position in China's regulated digital landscape. The company astutely observed that in a market where digital piracy was widespread, offering free games with paid in-game features was the optimal strategy. This shift towards microtransactions sparked a significant revenue boost, paving the way for Tencent's initial public offering on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange in 2004. Tencent's rise to prominence wasn't solely due to its market dominance across various sectors. Internal factors played a crucial role as well. The company fostered a high-pressure work environment, coupled with an innovative approach to product development. This strategy allowed all employees, regardless of position, to propose new ideas, leading to rapid innovation and product launches. Tencent's business model often involved adapting successful products from other companies and integrating them into its vast QQ ecosystem. This approach, leveraging its enormous user base, gave Tencent a significant competitive edge. While this strategy earned the company a reputation as a copycat, it proved highly effective in driving Tencent's growth and success in the Chinese market. Tencent's competitive strategy came to a head in a significant clash with Qihoo, a security software company. In a bold move, Tencent forced its users into an ultimatum: choose between using QQ or Qihoo's antivirus product. This aggressive tactic proved successful for Tencent, resulting in a substantial loss of users for Qihoo. Despite engaging in practices that could be considered monopolistic, Tencent was allowed to expand unchecked by Chinese authorities, leading to substantial revenue growth. However, the company eventually recognized the unsustainability of competing in every sector. Tencent pivoted from direct competition to a strategy of investment and collaboration. Rather than making adversaries of all entrepreneurs, they began acquiring stakes in promising companies. This shift allowed Tencent to extend its influence while fostering a more cooperative business ecosystem. The new approach positioned Tencent as a startup incubator. Instead of developing everything in-house, they invested in other companies, supporting their growth through access to Tencent's vast user base and infrastructure. A prime example is Tencent's partnership with JD.com, China's second-largest e-commerce platform. Recognizing its own lack of expertise in e-commerce, Tencent acquired an equity stake in JD.com and leveraged its resources to support JD.com's success. This strategy transformed Tencent into a kingmaker in the Chinese tech landscape, streamlining its operations while cementing its influence across various sectors. By this point, QQ had transformed into a robust platform, offering users access to a wide array of internet services. However, Tencent was already developing the application that would eventually eclipse QQ's popularity. In 2010, as mobile internet usage surged, Tencent grew concerned about maintaining its market dominance. In response, the ever-cautious Pony Ma implemented an innovative strategy. He established 3 separate internal teams, each tasked with creating a mobile messaging app. These teams were set to compete not only against each other, but also against Tencent's flagship product, QQ. This sink-or-swim culture was designed to ensure that only the strongest, most competitive idea would emerge victorious. It exemplified Tencent's willingness to potentially cannibalize its own successful products in pursuit of future market leadership. Tencent's initial $10 billion offer for WhatsApp fell through, allowing Mark Zuckerberg to acquire it later for $19 billion. Undaunted, Tencent introduced WeChat, known as Weixin in China, in 2011, tailored for mobile use. Although not immediately successful, WeChat gained popularity after incorporating a push-to-talk function. This feature, originally from another app called TalkBox, was replicated by Tencent when they couldn't acquire TalkBox outright. Leveraging their greater resources, Tencent's WeChat eventually surpassed TalkBox in popularity, Chinese businesses soon realized that rejecting Tencent's acquisition offers was a risky proposition. The choice was stark: sell to Tencent or risk being overwhelmed by their competition. Pony Ma, Tencent's co-founder, emphasized this reality with his assertion that in the Chinese market, the ability to execute effectively outweighs the value of ideas alone. WeChat rapidly gained popularity in China, and Tencent recognized its potential to become more than just a messaging app. Capitalizing on the ubiquity of smartphones, WeChat evolved into a comprehensive platform offering diverse services. These included Moments, a feature akin to Facebook and Instagram, and public accounts for content creation and sharing. WeChat's growth was remarkable, reaching 100 million users within its first year in 2012 and tripling that number to 300 million by 2013. Tencent continuously expanded WeChat's functionality, introducing features like Drift Bottle for social discovery and WeChat Pay for mobile transactions, which became immensely popular. As a result, WeChat transformed into China's quintessential super app, offering an all-encompassing digital experience. Its success ultimately eclipsed that of Tencent's earlier hit product, QQ. WeChat's user base surged to over 500 million by 2015. In 2017, it introduced mini programs, enabling users to access thousands of third-party services without leaving the WeChat ecosystem. This innovation further cemented WeChat's status as a super app. WeChat's dominance made Tencent a crucial intermediary for businesses seeking to reach Chinese consumers, effectively forcing companies to collaborate with Tencent to access this vast user base. However, WeChat's triumphant rise in China hasn't been mirrored internationally. This limited global appeal can be largely attributed to Tencent's close relationship with the Chinese government, which utilizes WeChat as a tool for monitoring and controlling information flow. These practices have hindered WeChat's adoption in markets outside China. The Chinese government allowed Tencent considerable freedom to grow, provided its activities aligned with national interests. However, the Communist Party of China, CCP, ensured that Tencent remained in lockstep with its objectives. In compliance with Chinese regulations, Tencent grants the government access to users' private data and implements content filtering as required. This deep-rooted relationship between Tencent and the Chinese authorities elucidates why WeChat thrives within China's borders, but faces significant challenges in gaining widespread adoption internationally. Tencent's evolution into a surveillance tool appears to be a consequence of operating under CCP control, rather than an intentional strategy. WeChat's global expansion efforts faltered due to concerns over censorship, diverse international regulations, and competition from established platforms. The app's ties to Chinese government surveillance deterred foreign users, while Tencent's flagship products, QQ and WeChat, haven't gained significant traction beyond China's borders. The company has found an alternative route to global influence. Tencent leverages its enormous user base and substantial financial resources to strategically invest in successful companies worldwide. Tencent's global growth approach involves channeling profits from its thriving Chinese applications into foreign investments, broadening its reach beyond China's borders. The company has acquired stakes in various international firms, including Tesla, Reddit, and Discord. One of Tencent's most lucrative investments has been in gaming. They acquired stakes in major studios, behind games like League of Legends, Fortnite, and Call of Duty. This investment-driven approach has enabled Tencent to establish a significant global footprint, bypassing the international limitations of its own apps. By strategically backing foreign companies, Tencent extends its influence well beyond China's borders. And by 2017, they became one of the world's largest companies. Tencent's ascent inevitably attracted increased attention and scrutiny. The US administration launched investigations into Tencent-owned applications, such as WeChat, citing worries about data security and potential Chinese governmental control. Although Tencent's foreign investments offered some insulation, their substantial dependence on the Chinese market left them exposed to domestic regulatory pressures. In 2018, Chinese authorities imposed strict measures on the gaming industry, suspending approvals for new game releases due to concerns about addiction and violent content. This regulatory shift caused Tencent's profits to decline for the first time in 10 years. In response, the company was compelled to implement various measures, including facial recognition technology and content censorship, to align more closely with government expectations and values. A pivotal moment occurred in late when Jack Ma, co-founder of Alibaba and Ant Group, publicly criticized Chinese financial regulators. This bold move triggered a swift and severe response from authorities. The planned IPO of Ant Group, poised to be the world's largest at the time, was abruptly halted in November 2020. Following this, Ma vanished from public view for several months, resurfacing briefly in January 2021. This incident heralded a broader regulatory offensive against China's tech behemoths, including Tencent. The government's actions extended beyond Ant Group, encompassing stringent measures across the tech sector. For Tencent, this came on the heels of earlier challenges, such as the 2018 gaming industry crackdown, that had already impacted its profits. Despite these challenges, Tencent remains a formidable force in the tech industry. The bigger concern lies within the boundaries it's willing to cross in pursuit of growth and innovation. The main issue at hand is the trade-off Tencent and similar tech giants present to users: unprecedented convenience and connectivity in exchange for potential compromises in personal privacy. Despite setbacks, Tencent remains a powerhouse, continuing to dominate in China and invest globally. To survive, they'll need to stay closely aligned with the Chinese government, while navigating the challenges of keeping both China and the rest of the world happy. As they look to the future, possibly with ambitions in the metaverse, Tencent's ability to adapt will be crucial in maintaining its influence and success.